Do you have a habit of putting all your groceries straight into the refrigerator, believing it keeps everything safe and fresh? You might be shocked to learn that for certain foods, the cold environment of your fridge is actually a danger zone. It is a common mistake we all make. However, leading medical experts, including urologists, nutritionists, and neurologists, are now warning that chilling specific everyday foods can trigger dangerous chemical changes. These changes can release compounds linked to serious health risks, including cancer, dementia, and severe digestive damage. In this video, we are uncovering 5 common foods that should never be kept in your refrigerator. We will explain exactly why this happens. When these foods are exposed to cold temperatures, their internal structure breaks down, producing harmful toxins or destroying the vital nutrients your brain and body depend on to stay strong. And please, stay tuned until the very end, because the final food on this list is a staple found in almost every single household. Yet, science has connected improper storage of this item to brain inflammation and memory loss over time. By understanding how to store your groceries correctly, you are doing more than just protecting your health. You are preserving the nutrients that keep your mind sharp, your body resilient, and your energy high. Now let's begin with number 1. Number 1. Potatoes. This is perhaps the most common mistake we see in kitchens everywhere. It seems logical to store potatoes in the refrigerator to keep them firm and prevent them from sprouting, right? But food safety specialists warn that the cold environment of a fridge triggers a dangerous chemical chain reaction inside the potato. When a potato is chilled, its natural starch is rapidly converted into sugar. Now, raw, this might not seem harmful. The danger arises when you decide to cook them. When these sugar-loaded potatoes are exposed to high heat, whether you are frying, baking, or roasting them, those sugars combine with amino acids to form a compound called acrylamide. Acrylamide is a known carcinogen that has been linked to nerve damage. The frightening part is that acrylamide is silent. It has no smell and no distinct taste, so you cannot detect it. Yet researchers have found that frequent exposure, especially in older adults, can damage nerve cells in the brain. Over time, this accumulation increases the risk of cognitive decline and may even contribute to the onset of dementia. Furthermore, this change from starch to sugar creates another issue for our health. When you eat these potatoes, they cause sharper spikes in blood sugar levels. For those of us managing diabetes or insulin resistance, this is a hidden trigger that disrupts our blood health and energy balance. You should also keep a close eye on the appearance of your potatoes. If you see green patches or soft spots, this indicates the presence of solanine, a natural toxin that can cause nausea and neurological symptoms. The stress of the cold fridge actually accelerates this spoilage process. So, what is the solution? Potatoes thrive in a cool, dark, and dry place, but not a cold one. The ideal home for your potatoes is a pantry shelf, a basement, or simply inside a brown paper bag in a cabinet, away from direct sunlight. This moderate temperature keeps them nutrient-rich and prevents the formation of those harmful sugars. By making this simple switch, you are quietly protecting your brain and your blood sugar with every meal. Let's move on to number 2. Onions. Many of us instinctively place onions in the refrigerator, believing the cold will preserve them for weeks. However, storing onions this way can actually turn them toxic over time. The problem lies in the environment. Onions are highly absorbent. They soak up moisture from the damp air inside your fridge. As they sit in that humidity, their cellular structure begins to break down, turning the onion soft, watery, and eventually moldy. But the damage goes deeper than just spoilage. Cold temperatures destroy the natural antioxidants found in onions, particularly a compound called quercetin. For us as we age, quercetin is essential. It helps protect the brain from oxidative stress and supports memory function. When you refrigerate an onion, you are stripping away the very nutrients your brain needs to fight aging. Furthermore, this breakdown process creates sulfur compounds and encourages the growth of harmful bacteria and mold spores. These can be invisible to the naked eye, but when consumed, can irritate the stomach and contribute to chronic inflammation in the body. Here is a special warning regarding storage. Never keep your onions next to your potatoes. Potatoes emit a gas that accelerates the decay of onions, causing them to rot much faster than they would on their own. So, how should you store them? Onions need to breathe. The best home for them is a cool, dry place with good air circulation. A mesh bag, a paper sack, or an open woven basket is perfect. This keeps them dry, firm, and rich in the antioxidants that support your immune system. If you are finding these health insights valuable so far, please comment number 2 below to let me know you are watching. Now let's move forward to number 3, tomatoes. This is arguably the most common mistake on our list. Nearly every household stores tomatoes in the refrigerator, assuming it keeps them fresh. However, the moment a tomato is chilled, the enzymes responsible for its delicious flavor and aroma begin to die. But the loss of flavor is not the biggest concern. It is the loss of medicine. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, one of nature's most powerful antioxidants. Lycopene is vital for reducing the risk of heart disease and slowing down age-related brain decline. Here is the worrying part. Food science studies indicate that storing tomatoes below 50 degrees Fahrenheit for just 2 days can cut their antioxidant levels in half. When you eat a refrigerated tomato, you are missing out on the very nutrients that help maintain your cognitive function. Additionally, there is a bacterial risk. The moisture in your refrigerator can seep through the tomato's delicate skin. This creates a breeding ground for bacteria, such as Listeria, which can cause serious infections. For older adults with weaker immune systems, even a small amount of this contamination can be harmful. So, what is the best way to store them? Treat tomatoes as living foods. They thrive at room temperature. Store them on your counter, preferably stem side up and away from direct sunlight. If they ripen too quickly, move them to a cool spot, but try to avoid the fridge. By keeping them out of the cold, you preserve their natural healing power, protecting both your memory and your heart with every bite. Number 4, garlic. Garlic is often praised as one of nature's most powerful medicines. We use it to lower blood pressure and protect our hearts. But did you know that refrigerating garlic completely changes its chemical composition? When garlic is exposed to the cold, moist air of a refrigerator, it mistakenly triggers the sprouting process. You may have seen those little green shoots appearing. This sprouting indicates that the garlic is generating sulfur compounds that can be irritating to the digestive system. More importantly, the cold stops the garlic from producing allicin. Allicin is the specific compound responsible for garlic's antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-cancer properties. By keeping it in the fridge, you are essentially deactivating the very medicine you are trying to consume. You might notice that refrigerated garlic tastes sharper or bitter. That bitterness is a warning sign of chemical breakdown. There is also a serious safety risk regarding mold. Because garlic absorbs moisture easily, the damp environment of a fridge encourages the growth of dangerous bacteria, including Clostridium botulinum, which is responsible for botulism. Even invisible spores can be harmful to the nervous system, especially for older adults whose immune systems may not be as robust. So, how should garlic be stored? The rule is simple. Garlic needs to breathe. Keep it in a cool, dry, and ventilated area, such as a hanging wire basket or an open bowl on your countertop. Avoid plastic bags or sealed containers that trap moisture. When stored this way, garlic retains its flavor and its incredible ability to fight inflammation in your body. If you are finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you are still with us. Finally, we arrive at number 5, bread. Bread is a staple in most of our homes. Yet it is one of the most mishandled foods when it comes to storage. Many people put their loaf in the refrigerator, assuming it will stay fresh longer and avoid mold. But this habit quietly destroys both the quality and the safety of the bread. The first issue is texture. Food scientists call this process starch retrogradation. Essentially, the cold temperature causes the starch molecules to recrystallize rapidly. This turns soft, fresh bread into something dry, hard, and stale much faster than if it were left on the counter. But the greater concern is invisible. While the fridge may seem clean, it is a moist environment. That moisture feeds microscopic fungi, specifically Aspergillus and Penicillium. These molds produce mycotoxins, substances that are invisible to the naked eye but are highly toxic. Research has connected these mycotoxins to liver damage, and concerningly for us, to brain inflammation and memory loss in older adults. You might think you can just cut off the moldy part of the crust and be safe, but these toxins have deep roots that can contaminate the entire loaf. Furthermore, the altered structure of refrigerated bread is harder for your body to digest. It can lead to bloating and fatigue, and often causes unstable glucose levels, something crucial to avoid if you are managing diabetes or heart conditions. So, what is the solution? Bread was meant to be kept at room temperature, stored in a breathable environment, like a wooden bread box, a paper sack, or a linen bag. Avoid plastic, which traps humidity. If you have bought more than you can eat in a few days, the best option is to freeze it. Unlike the refrigerator, the freezer stops the aging process completely without altering the structure. When you are ready to eat, simply toast a slice and it will be as safe and nourishing as the day you bought it. As we close this video, I want you to take a brief moment to think about your own kitchen. How many of these 5 foods, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, garlic, and bread, are sitting in your refrigerator right now? If the answer is all of them, please do not worry. Most of us have done this out of habit for years, believing we were protecting our families. But now that you know the science, you have the power to make a change. It is important to remember that diseases like cancer, dementia, and chronic inflammation rarely happen overnight. They are often the result of years of small, repeated choices, like how we cook, eat, and store our food. Every decision we make either strengthens our body or adds a little bit of stress to it. However, I want to be very clear. This does not mean you should unplug your refrigerator. While the 5 foods we discussed today thrive in the warmth, there are other essentials that absolutely must be kept cold to ensure your safety. Please continue to refrigerate your milk and dairy products, raw meats, fish, and cooked leftovers. Also, delicate items like leafy greens, spinach, and soft berries need that chill to stay crisp and safe from bacteria. The key is not to fear the fridge, but to use it for the right ingredient. By simply moving the potatoes and onions to the pantry, you are doing more than just reorganizing your kitchen. You are preserving the natural nutrients that keep your mind sharp and your energy steady. Think of this simple act as a quiet form of self-care. It is never too late to change your habits. You have spent a lifetime taking care of your children, your spouse, and your work. Now it is time to take care of yourself in the simplest, smartest ways possible. We would love to hear from you. Which of these 5 foods were you surprised to learn about? Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, or one change you plan to make. Your stories inspire us and help our community grow. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support helps Elderly Heart Talks continue creating content to inform and protect you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video with more talks from the heart.